what's up? We have a new video.
Yay! Hello, fellow pixies.
Yeah.
Good morning, beautiful friends. Actually,
Hey,
it's
guys.
afternoon already. We are going on a little walk telling you more about our visa process.
And I dressed up as Dipper from Gravity Falls.
So we are going to tell you more about our visa process, and we are also going tamarilla hunting. I think it's important to mention that our visa process is definitely different than what the process would be right now, or than what the process had been in the past.
Yeah, we'll have to check up on all of that information. The reason why our process has been slightly different is because we missed the cutoff date to supply our attorneys with a police clearance due to the riots and COVID closing the offices in South Africa.
So we actually started our process sometime in June, and then we were set and ready to leave. Our flight was the 24th of July, and during that time, it was around the 20th of July, everything was still set for us. The Friendly Nations visa changes would have occurred on the 14th of August 2021. And so we had everything planned around that date. Our flights were booked around that date. The selling of all of our things and leaving the country everything was set around the 14th of August. And then sometime, I think it was about the 20th of July, we received a notification from the Panamanian government saying that the Friendly Nations visa cut off, as it had been for 2021 and before, was now the 7th of August. And so we couldn't change anything because everything was already planned.
So we are not qualified to give advice on finances or anything to do with the law. We can basically just share our experience with you on how it worked for us. So for the finer details and for the real information before you do anything, just check with your attorney and make sure that everything is on board that side.
So we got a few tamarillas or 3 tomatoes, and look.
The first thing we had to do was get ourselves an attorney. Yes, my darling. Oh, is that so? So once we had our attorney, then they started the process off of us opening up a corporation. It initially started with myself being the president of the corporation, and then the law changed with a new visa, and we had to update that to getting somebody else, preferably somebody in Panama that is living here, to be the new president of the corporation. So that was one of the changes that we had to do once the law had changed, which it seems to do quite a lot here in Panama. So things are changing all the time, which makes it very interesting to try and keep up with the new laws, and oftentimes the attorneys also are not sure what's going on because they have to be updated on the new laws.
I'm just gonna lick if I don't like it. Pretty good.
So what happened after we established the corporation?
So after that, what happened next? I think we had to, apply for temporary residency, and we were granted a 6-month temporary residency. After that, we had to apply for a driver's license, because your South African driver's license, or wherever you are from, I suppose, only lasts for 3 months.
So obviously each attorney's quotation will be different, but for the corporation you need proof that you have $5,000 in your bank account. So this will be a $5,000, like Denzel had to have proof that he had $5,000 in his account, and then I needed proof that I actually had $5,500 in my bank account. And the reason for this is it's $5,000 for me, and then it was $250 per child or per minor. So for the proof of the money in your account, you need to open up a Panamanian bank account. This was actually a very simple process that we had to go through, as long as you make sure that you have all the documentation with you that you need, and as long as there's somebody that can actually speak English, then it should be a very quick process. So I think the most important part with the proof of the money in your account and the proof that you actually have a Panamanian bank account is that you need a letter from the bank that has been stamped and that has been signed by the manager that helped you. So this is a crucial step, is to have the letter that has been signed and stamped by the bank. Some of the documentation that you need for the bank is a letter from your employer, and then you need a bank letter from your bank account in South Africa that also needs to be signed by the manager that helped you. You also need a proof of income, and then you also need a letter from SARS saying that you have been paying tax. So for me, it was a little bit different because I came through as a dependent. I actually just needed a letter from my bank in South Africa saying that I had a bank account there, but for Denzel, all of the other documentation applied.
So it's important to remember that when you get to Panama, you're not going to get a work permit immediately. It's going to take a while. We expected it to be sort of like maybe 1 or 2 months, but it's nearly been 5 months now, and we're still waiting for the chance to get our work permit. So it's important to make sure that you have enough funds in your bank account to tie you over for that period of time.
So some of the documentation that you need to do as soon as possible is definitely your police clearance. Your police clearance needs to be apostilled, and this can take quite some time. So I would say do that first before even opening your corporation. Get the police clearance done, because you can't wait a while to receive that. Then you also need the originals of your children's birth certificates. That also needs to be apostilled, and if you are married, you need the original marriage certificate that also needs to be apostilled. And it's important to know that they actually keep these documentation. That's not something that you get back. So what we did is we found out from Department of Home Affairs, and they said it's fine, it's no problem. They can actually make an additional original birth certificate. The cost for this wasn't a lot. I think it was just over 300 rands to do this. So just know they are going to keep the documentation, and you want extra originals from South Africa before you leave.
So we've been issued with our 6-month temporary residency. As far as I understand it, if we keep our corporation up to date with its tax payments and things like that, then at the end of this period we will be able to apply for a 2-year temporary residency. And after that, then if our taxes have been paid with our corporation and everything is perfectly fine and running, as I understand it, then we will be able to get permanent residency. So it seems like it's quite a long process, but that's the way it goes at the moment. Yeah. Another option is to spend $200,000 on a piece of land or a house here in Panama, and I think that will get you in pretty much with a permanent residency. Say bye!
Bye! Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, so that's basically our process that we went through. And like we said, it's different for us because some of our process had already begun before we left, and then they made the new changes to the new Friendly Nations visa. So if you have any questions, drop it in the comments and we will get back to you as best as we can. Please remember to like if you like it, subscribe if you can, click the bell notification for more videos, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Lots of love.
Bye. The Keenan Pixies.
Hey guys, I'm the filmer right here, as you can see. Look. So, this is my finished Tamarillo. I give it four stars out of 5. Pretty good. So yeah. Pretty good. How do you rate it out of 5, Mom?
5 out of 5.
How do you, Dad?
10 out of 5. It's my favorite.
It's my favorite food.